And so this is Christmas in November, Ray. That's right, eyes and ears, it is approaching that time of year, and I, Benjai, Klaus, Mr. Christmas, is here to prepare you for the spirit of Winter Wonderland, giving. And what better way to give than to wrap an easy to get to the table board game for a loved one this season. That's right, this list of 10 gift ideas sits plumb in the lightweight category for those that are seeking a fairly low complexity board gaming session. Let's waste no more time then, come and count with me from 1 to 10. Number 1, Micro Macro Crime City. AKA, did someone actually finally moida Wally Waldo? What a novel concept this is. A small box game that hides a terrible secret. That of a gigaquat-sized map inside. This quote-unquote snapshot in time and space incorporates a healthy amount of hidden information about the who's, what's and where's of a number of different crimes. And although it's the same tableau you'll be inspecting each game, the different cases you tackle will send you north, east, west and south across the length and breadth of the city. With unique and recurring characters all helping you piece together the particulars of wanton criminal activity. This straight up investigation and deduction game is sure to intrigue gamers and non-gamers alike. Number 2. Destinies introduces app-based technology to story-driven exploration and adventure. Here using a QR code setup much like we've seen before that narrates the story and displays the mechanical interactions throughout. Everything's got a fairly light touch in this game set in a medieval fantasy universe, making it one of the more accessible games of its ilk. But where it deviates from the norm is that it eschews the cooperative elements normally found in these types of games, and sees you all interacting and influencing the story in a nuanced way that might not necessarily work without the app. With a maximum 3 players in the core box, your character's choices and ultimate destiny will be sure to have an impact on the other players. Number 3, Cascadia. Takes us from technologically based to a nice rustic setting, featuring the habitats of the Pacific Northwest. This tile laying and drafting game sees you constructing your own little acreage with wildlife. It's pretty standard fare where you benefit from expanding your area into larger sections of the same type of hexagonal terrain tiles, in so doing creating a healthy home for your chosen species. But the random global objectives often don't always complement this primary goal, so adapting to the best placements for your chosen wildlife will leave you struggling to puzzle out the best way forward for you in any given game. Don't get me wrong, this is a game that might be light on innovation, but certainly delivers in replayability. Number 4, My City. Begs the question, do we need legacy games in our lightweight fare? Well, just because a game's not overly complex doesn't mean avid gamers aren't interested. Although it must be said you can officially adapt the game to be a standalone experience. But then a key part of the theme goes bye-bye. That's because your city starts pre-industrial and goes full post by the end. Broken down into 8 chapters with 3 rounds each, the communal tiles you're instructed to place may be the same, but how you choose to place them in your enclosure in efforts to achieve the most points is your choice alone. A healthy catch-up mechanic ensures that no matter how well you play, each and everyone around the table will have a fair shake at winning each chapter. Number 5, Cubitos, is what you get when you put cutie little cubes in a racing game that combines strategy and luck. Who'da thunk it? Now, whilst your straight-edge little racer might get all the fanfare, it's the dice you roll, and you'll be rolling a lot of them that are doing all the heavy lifting. Employing an interesting push-your-luck mechanism, whereby you can keep re-rolling dice to add them to your usable pool, but the minute you roll all blanks is when you bust. And instant regret sweeps over your face. There's all sorts of other interactions, of course, be it upgrading your dice pool, interacting with symbols on the racetrack, etc. And with the game adopting simultaneous actions wherever possible, this is as dice rolly and racy as you'd want it to be. Number 6, Forgotten Waters, brings storytelling and an app for the second time to this list. But this time we get a spiral-bound book and over-the-top voice acting to supplement the core. Oh, and this all goes down on the high seas with pirates. With each player needing to consider their own personal goals alongside the objectives of the party, there is plenty going on here and mechanically. But it's all surface level and not overly burdensome to learn, allowing the story to come to the fore, because what it really boils down to rules-wise, no matter what role you're playing, is a litany of skill checks that propel the narrative's forward motion. And catering for a healthy player count and not taking itself too seriously is the name of the game. Number 7, Nidovelia. You may have heard of Midgard and Asgard, but who's heard of the realm of the dwarves? Well, as it turns out, our beard-wielding mythical cousins like a bit of bidding and auctioning, which is exactly what you get when you sit down and get some Nidovelia in ya. Oh, and set collection. Yep, the game don't work without you looking to draft the right suit at the right time to increase the points haul of each of the 5 main card types, all with variations on a theme as to how you tally up your score. But the more you diversify, the more you gain access to heroes that each contribute in their own unique way. The blind auctioning is where the tension lies, and the way you can upgrade your bidding potential sees you running the tightrope of risk and reward throughout. Number 8, Calico. Animals, particularly those of the feline variety, and quilting go hand in hand apparently. Okay, so yes, this is another tile laying game, so why should I get this over Cascadia or My City? Well, for one thing, it's not a legacy game, and for another, it's got domestic cats in it. Duh. To be fair though, there is more than just theme to pick from here. There are physical constraints to your player board. In that sense, luck can play a bigger part in filling up, but there is more variety in tiles. And it also has the best out-of-the-box solo mode if that's your thing, and most definitely brings the most puzzle-like elements. So even though it proudly wears its lightweight collar, this one has a teensy bit more meat on the bone. Number 9, Furnace, brings some pure engine building Eurogame to the table, where players take on the role of 19th century capitalists, building their corporations and making no bones about being in it for the filthy lucre. Here the cards up for grabs go to the highest bidder, but also give minor rewards to the loser, ensuring that everyone gets a shot of dopamine no matter what the outcome. With the winners then using the cards that are gradually added to their tableau to either gain resources, process them into other things, or upgrading their cards as they go, ensuring better yield in future turns. But it's that everyone's a winner, at least to varying degrees gameplay, that keeps this one a humming. And number 10, Rallyman GT. And so we finish this list with a more serious racing experience. With the roll and move elements in many ways as you'd expect, this is a game though where small margins force you to push your luck and navigate the terrain around the racetrack. What's fascinating about this second iteration of the Rallyman series of games is that its hex-based tiles allow you to get creative with track layout, in so doing enabling a great deal of replayability. But it will be your decisions on how you position your car and how far you're willing to push the limits of its performance to stay ahead of your opponents that portrays a fairly realistic and simulation-like experience to the racing genre. And that there was and is this Mr. Christmas's lightweight gift recommendations for Xmas 2021. If you do decide to pull the trigger on any of these titles, please do use the affiliate links found in the video description. It helps out a lot. And be sure to tune back in when we hit you up with recommendations in the medium and heavyweight categories, as well as a Brucey bonus list of stocking filler ideas. Alas, I have been the voice of Board Game Santa, and this video has ended.